Thank you, Fletcher, for this great demonstration. I think that was very useful to see the software in action. And I hope you find it interesting as well. We have a number of questions, but before we go to that part, I would like to ask you our second poll, which is related to your organization. If you were to look at your organization and at what you think should be optimized, what would you like to see? Management of all reinsurance contracts, reinsurance reporting for audit and control, consolidated accounting, communication with reinsurers, or none of the above. So I will give you a couple of seconds for answering. Okay, let's have 5 more seconds for the answers. Okay, let's see the results now. Okay, so that's actually quite interesting. We got quite a number of companies that are looking to improve the reinsurance reporting for audit and control. So indeed, the regulations that are coming up are Solvency II, but also Sarbanes-Oxley are good drivers for optimizing the reinsurance reporting. And I think with what Fletcher showed you in terms of all the capability to automatically produce bordereaux, but also to see a comprehensive view of the reinsurance program, having all the information on one place will surely help you produce reports that will facilitate the audit. Next comes management of all reinsurance contracts, which is also a good interest, and communication with reinsurers. And I guess that's really interesting to see that managing all reinsurance contracts in one place can be very helpful for companies. So thank you very much for these answers. Let's maybe look at the questions that we got from during this session. We have a number of questions, but feel free to ask some more if you would like to. The first question we got is, how easy is it to integrate Prima Re into my own systems? Maybe Alex, you may want to answer this question since you already talked a little bit about about the place of Prima Re into IT systems. So do you want to take this question, Alex?
Absolutely, Frederic. Well, this is a great question. Maybe let me start by saying that Prima Re is built on the latest state-of-the-art technology currently available. So we can offer multiple solutions in order to communicate, in order to have Prima Re communicating with third-party environment. So maybe I can give an example of different possible integration points, maybe. Let's say that you need to integrate Prima Re with some third-party systems, such as inward system for policy and claims, or support systems such as general ledger or settlement system. We have direct API web service integration possible, or any real-time transport layer. So I think that gives flexibility to adapt to any environment here. For companies who have a pretty close system and don't have this capability, we can also have batches in place in order to feed the Prima Re database on a regular basis with inward information such as claims and policies. Maybe one word about Prima Re and document management system. I think Fletcher exposed that pretty well during the demo, but Prima Re can integrate through its API directly with the document management system to retrieve documents real time, and that works bi-directional. So it means that we can read, but also we can push information to a document management system in case companies has this system to share documents within the organization. So just don't want to go into too many details, but I hope this answers the question and also shows how flexible Prima Re is.
Oh, thanks, Alex. Maybe another question here. Do you track recoveries of ceded claim payments and outstanding balances or by reinsurers? And maybe Fletcher, you would like to answer that question?
Yes, certainly. Okay, so I showed you the statement side, and I showed you the Excel losses side. There's obviously quite a few other features of Prima Re that I haven't been able to show you yet. And what happens to the statements once they're produced is Prima Re sends them, in fact, to your choice of financial software. Right? The aim with Prima Re is to concentrate on producing the ceded amounts and producing the statements and managing really the reinsurance side. What we feel is that there's each company already has their own accounting software. Each company already has their own reporting software. Each company has their own credit control recoveries and so on. So rather than we force you to use our version of financial software, what we do is we have an interface which feeds into the general ledger, which feeds into credit control, which feeds into third-party accounting. So what you'll see in Prima Re is the list of statements with the amounts. And for the claims recoveries and for the credit control, for managing who pays what, Prima Re delegates that to specialized financial software, which will be absolutely your choice or your existing accounting software.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Fletcher. Sorry. Another question which comes from the United States. I have noticed you demonstrated the facility to attach inwards claims to reinsurance loss. As you know, here in the United States, we often have a very large number of claims that arise from one specific event. Is there any way to automate the association of inward claims to reinsurance loss according to a number of rules? Maybe Alex, since you are in the United States and know better than us the country, can you handle that question?
Sure. I think this is a very good question. Because it's definitely a lot of processing for all the U.S. carriers to deal with these catastrophe losses, for example, and make sure the claims are processed in a timely fashion and also manage definitely all the reinsurance side of it. So let's look at the current release of Prima Re. Prima Re filters the claim that match the loss event date, but as Fletcher showed it, ask you to do the attaching yourself. What we have is that we have the ability to automate it by overriding the default implementation in Prima Re. Indeed, we could potentially plug a rules engine of your choice and implement business rules that would work with your requirements. So, for example, you could have business rules that would evaluate how to associate a claim related to a flood for a specific period of time and a specific geographical zone associated to a specific loss program. This would greatly simplify and automate this process and hopefully shorten the processing of the claim and the payment by the reinsurers. But also what is very important, that makes it very easy to maintain and change over time the business logic without any code change or complicated process. Hope he answers the question.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Another question we have here. Does Prima Re have the ability to produce core reinsurance standard messages to send to reinsurance partners to communicate the data from Prima Re? Fletcher, I remember you had some talk with Accord, and as you may know, Prima Solutions is an Accord member and have been participated to a lot of activities, especially around the Accord information model, since Prima Solutions co-built with Accord the information model following one donation we gave to the court. So maybe on this particular topic, Fletcher?
Yes, certainly. So the question, I'll just go through that again. Does Prima Re have the ability to produce accord reinsurance standard messages to send to reinsurance partners to communicate the data from Prima Re? Yes, of course. We've been in contact with the accord people at Rüschlikon. So historically, we've well, as Frédéric said, we've been in close contact with accord for a number of years now. There's a lot of very interesting work going on the RLC messaging side. Most of it is between brokers and reinsurers. The Rüschlikon initiative at the moment focuses on brokers and reinsurers. But there is one thing that I've come across in our discussions and in our touches, which we find interesting, which is the standard cedent bordereau. Now, there's a standard cedent bordereau working group, which is in progress at the moment in accord, and that one hasn't yet come up with its definitive bordereau. But what we're very much hoping to do is to replace our current bordereau, which you'll be able to see when you use the application, with the accord standard bordereau in the accord standard format. And we anticipate that we'll be able to do this relatively quickly because, of course, Prima Re is built with the Prima IBCS toolset and Prima IBCS model, which is none other than the accord information model. So we're very much looking forward to having that standard published so that we can go ahead and produce the bordereaux along that standard.
Yeah, thank you, Fletcher. Maybe a last question, very quick one. We have seen a number of figures labeled in euro, but does Prima Re support multiple currencies? Fletcher?
Yep. Yes, it does. The reason why we have euro currency symbol actually on all the screens is because every time you see EUR, you can select which particular currency it is. And when you try out the application, for instance, if you go onto any of the proportional sessions and look at the technical accounting, you can click on one of the little drop-down items and see the figures in original currency. So, for example, for surplus and quota share, we take the original currency amounts and we calculate the session in original currencies, and it's only when we produce the statements that we convert them into the currency of the treaty. So our multi-section yes, and multi-currency as well.
Great, thanks, Fletcher. We will close the Q&A session right now. Thank you all for your questions. We haven't been able to answer all questions, but we well noted them down. And rest assured, we will answer you with an email to all the questions we haven't been able to answer. I wanted to thank you for attending this webinar, and thanks to our panelists, Fletcher and Alex, as well. You can visit Prima Solutions website at primasolutions.com for more information. Obviously, feel free to contact us and ask us any question or any comment or remark at contact@primasolutions.com. And as Fletcher told you at the very beginning of the demonstration, feel free to try out Prima Re for yourself. You can have access directly to the application, create your own area, enter your own data, and try your own programs. It's a secured environment for you, which is available at the URL demo.primasolutions.com/PrimaRe. I really encourage you to try out and let us know your feedback. It's very important to have your feedback so that we can add the features that you would like to see. So thank you once again for your participation into this webinar, and I wish you a good day or a good afternoon. Thank you.